Hello Ronlings, yes I'm out again in the great outdoors. I want to start this video with a big thank you. I've hit, now this is probably going to make people laugh, they'll be like, do that in my sleep, hire you up a bit. It's a big thank you to all my subscribers. I've got over 100 subscribers. I know people are going to be like, pfft. So because it's a very small number in a huge ocean of YouTube, but to me it's very important, and it means a lot to me because I see this as not numbers. I see you all as individuals and as like a community. Perhaps slightly more humble than some people who start their channel with just numbers and money involved, and I don't think I'm ever going to get that many. So to me it's really important, and I guess it's really important because starting this channel was kind of a kind of happenstance really, because I've always done this and I've always really enjoyed it, and I found myself thinking that saying it in my head wasn't enough. You know, it was a bit like wasn't tangible. It was a bit like going to a psychiatrist and sitting on your couch and then him saying what seems to be a problem, and you just tell him in your head, go, it's not the same, is it? And I wanted to say stuff out loud, and that was the whole point of starting this channel, so I could say it to someone instead of just thinking it in my head, or if I said it out loud nobody's listening, I feel like an idiot. So that's how the channel started. It was purely just so I can say what I'm seeing and say what I'm experiencing and stuff out loud, because it's felt more visceral perhaps, and that's how it came about. It was purely nothing to do with numbers. Now the YouTube subscribers are rising. I am interested, very much so, because it's a thing I can never imagine happening. You know, I'm kind of a non-achiever, never really amounted to much in my life, and this is kind of something I could never imagined. Even the number of being 100 people who actually subscribe and want to watch this just blows me away. So thanks ever so much. It's a small number, but to me it's extremely important. I don't look at it as a number, I look at you all as individuals, and I try and reply to, well no, I don't try, I have so far replied to every single one of you, because I'm interested in what you're saying, I'm interested in your lives, and I'm interested in that interaction, because it's all fascinating to me. You're not just numbers, it's not just a money making channel, and so that 100, as small as it may seem in the world of YouTube, to me is so important. So thank you very much. I thank you all. This is my view sat on the outside my tent. It's not so dense tree wise, but the grass is really long, and all the whatever they are, ferns, I don't know what they are really long. So I'm kind of really sunk below them. God, I'm getting old. So when I stand up, that's where I am. It's still lovely, nice open bit. Camping here purely based on the fact that there was it's really dense in it, and I was thinking, oh, this is going to be a spot I can't camp at because it's so dense and I'm not going to flatten stuff down. But I found, as I was almost considering leaving, I found the flat area. If I didn't know any better, I'd say somebody else had been camping on it, because it was like, it was not an opening per se, it was a flattened down area. So unless it was an animal, the damage had already been done, as it were. Completely different place this time. Quite pleased with this little find. I know the area, but I got kind of a bit lost, because I've come in here and mostly, well, every time I've been in this area, it's been in the summer, the winter, and it looks completely different, and I got kind of lost. I was trying to find a place that I'd been before, because I was short on time, so go what you know. and I couldn't find it because everywhere looked so completely different. And so I've ended up here because I couldn't find it, and I'm dangerously close to the path because I couldn't get in any further. It's so dense, without trampling stuff down, which I wasn't prepared to do. So I mean, you can't really see it there, but there's a path literally there. That's from here to there. That's where the path is. That's how close I am. But it, on the other hand, it's quite dense. The undergrowth's quite dense, so when I sit down I seem to be below it. But it's the closest I've ever been to civilization when I've been camping, so a little bit uneasy, especially in the summer. Well, in the hotter weather. There you go, that's where I am. Speaking on the same lines as what I was saying earlier about appreciating the subscribers individually, the camera seems a bit. Is that just me? I don't know. So speaking about that, there's a channel I watch, Summer. There's a channel I watch, and there's this guy on there who I really like his channel, and he seems really down to earth, and he seems really honest, and I like that in the guy, and I was really enjoying it. And just recently he took a different turn. He very blatantly, obviously, was looking at other channels and seeing how they're making it. He's got loads of subscribers, so he must be making money off of it, but he obviously felt it wasn't enough, so he was looking for ways of bumping his numbers up, and he was looking at other channels, and he was clearly trying to emulate them by doing various other things that wasn't his channel. He took him off in a different direction, and so it was obvious from there. I was kind of losing a bit of faith in the channel initially, and this is what I mean about disrespect to his subscribers, because and just looking at them as numbers instead of a community for your channel. And because he then, the last straw for me was when he pretended that he got attacked by a deer, and I only watched it once. You only needed to watch it once. You could see he wasn't being attacked by a deer, and he made it up, and he said he had hurt himself. And people, I mean, that's messing with people's feelings. There's people who watch his channel and really care about him and saying, oh my god, you've really hurt yourself. Well, I hope you're okay. And you're messing his channel when you're messing with people's emotions, just so you can bump your numbers up, and that's really disrespectful. And that's kind of what I was saying earlier about caring about the people who are watching you, taking their time out of their lives to watch you, and it's a real disrespect. And I would never ever in my whole life ever do stuff like that and pretend there's an animal coming in and there's it's a bear. Quickie before it gets dark. The last time, keep it out of shot. The last time I was camping, my old pillow, old like it was, I've had it years. I used it twice. It was a cheap pillow. I used it twice, and it completely died on me. So the question when I first bought it was, well, what's wrong with buying a cheap pillow? I do believe in buy cheap, buy twice. Yes, that's right. But there are some exceptions, and some, if I can get, because I ain't got a lot of money, so if I can get away with it, I'll try and do that. And I thought, a pillow, you blow it up, you lie on it, what could go wrong? So I bought a really cheap one from eBay, Amazon, and on the second time, I think it's the second or the third, whichever, not a lot of uses, and the valve went and it was no good. So and I really cannot afford to pay it. I really don't have the money to do this. I had to buy another pillow. Sounds trivial, but half the reason for not liking camping is a poor night's sleep. The sleep system is really important. I do, and everyone should put a lot of stock in being comfortable overnight, because if you don't, I love camping, but I don't love camping if I've had a really rubbish night and feel like poo the next morning. So it's something you should invest in. In the winter, it was never a problem. I got my coat and I stuffed it into my tent bag. My sleeping bag was always warm enough. I never needed a coat when I was when I was sleeping, so I always took it, put the coat and stuffed it, and it gave me somewhere to put the coat, and at the same time gave me a pillow. But in the winter, can't do that. In the summer, winter, because I'm always camping in the winter. In the summer you can't do that, so I have to have one. It's really important. I'm not carrying a big hefty coat around just to use it as a pillow. So I've ended up with Trekology again, because my sleeping pad is Trekology, and I arrived at this for the same reason I arrived at the sleeping pad, and it's because you want it to be something that lasts, so you choose a trusted make. And I know it might not be everyone might not be in agreement with Trekology, but I've seen loads of people using Trekology stuff, and this has had umpteen people have bought this pillow. It was such a massive sell, and there was nothing but good praise. There's always bad praises with everything you buy, especially the more that do it, the more statistically somebody's going to complain. There's always somebody that's not happy, but it was thousands and thousands of people bought it, and thousands and thousands of people loved it. So and it was one of the cheaper good brands, you know, so one of the cheaper trusted brands. So that's why I've ended up there. That's why I ended up with the sleeping pad, because that was one of the cheap ones, and that's why I've ended up at with the pillow. And bizarrely, the green was cheaper than they did loads of colours. The green was cheaper. I prefer the green. Kind of a bit of a green person. Yeah, marvellous. And you stick in your head on it, and you put in the sleeping bag over the top of it, so you're not going to see colour anyway. So just get the cheap one. So there you go. That's my new sleeping pillow. Is there any other type of pillow? That's my new pillow. I have tried it out, you know, at home. I blew it up and it's thicker. My other one was thinner, and I was sort of stuffing things underneath it to try and bump it up a bit, and that wasn't a massive big deal. But so yeah, I wasn't totally happy with that. But this one is a lot thicker, and I think it is more comfortable, to be honest. All these little ribs in it, blah, 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 and it sort of dips in the middle and a little cut out. I think it actually is more comfortable. But proof is in the pudding. I will stick it in and we'll see how it goes, and if I remember I'll let you know in the morning. I do like the valve in this one as well. It's a little button, so it's a one-way valve. You blow it up, it doesn't let the air out, and then when you want it to deflate, you press a little button in the middle and and I think that's good. I like that, and I think that might be part of the reason why the other one went down, because it relied on you poking the plug back in, and then I think it wasn't a massively tight seal. I think, I don't know. I'll tell you what, this is the first, I mean, it's not technically summer yet, I don't think, but it's been a really hot day today, and this is the first time I've camped on the channel in hot weather, and I'm telling you, every time I look down there's a mosquito on my arm. So I'm going to come away bit to death. If there's anything left of me, I'll be like a skeleton walking home, because it's been a while since I've camped in the summer, and I've never done it on the channel. And you forget just how many there are around, and every so often I hear a really deep and I'm like, what the hell is that? It's really something really big. But anyway, that's I'm digressing. I was about the pillow. Unusual for me tonight. I'm normally a tea or a normal coffee person, but I do like cappuccinos, and I just really fancy one tonight. I dropped the bag. I just really fancy one tonight. I have to say again, I absolutely love this kettle. Oh, spoon. Spoon. Didn't get my spoon out. Spoon, fork, spork, whatever you want to call it. I've never had a kettle camping. I love it. Num 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 num. Dedicated kettle. It's so awesome. For me, that's a luxury. Oop, out of shot. That's a luxury. Now, I've got an interesting thing to say. Yeah. Oh, still too. I've got an interesting thing to say. Like, do you know you get the powdered, in this case cappuccino. I can't find anyone else that agrees with me, and that it is actually nice to not stir it too much, so you get little unstirred powder in it, and when you drink it you can taste it and you have a little chew on it, and it's unmelted powder. I love that. It's the same with soups, you know, when you get the packet soups, the dry, and you add water. I don't stir it too much because I love getting all the little dissolved bits. That's the word I'm looking for. Undissolved bits. When you chew on the little undissolved bits, it's lovely. But I can't find anyone else that kind of is with me on that one. It's nice. It's kind of because it's got loads of flavour in the bits that aren't quite dissolved. I don't mean great big chunks like that. Just tiny little bits that don't quite dissolve. And it's kind of like an extra bit of flavour. I like it. But yeah, nobody's on the same road as I am. I'm a bit. Am I? A bit like that. Look at that. That's a lovely thing behind. The little blue coming through the trees there. It's a nice little backdrop. On the same lines of weirdy food stuff. Nobody ever understands me when I say I don't like pasta. You don't like pasta? What? You don't like pasta? Because it's got no flavour per se. It's the texture. It's a texture thing. It's minging. And other people, what? Everyone likes pasta. But no, it's. I don't like the texture of it. When you're trying to swallow it, it feels all rubbery and wormy, and so I don't like pasta. I don't eat pasta. I can eat it like in sheets in a lasagna because it's kind of the texture's lost in there. But yeah, no, don't ask me. It would be great to like pasta because everyone seems to like it and it's everywhere. But so that's kind of my weird food thing that other people like and I don't. Can't think of anything else. I kind of eat almost anything. Almost. What was I saying earlier about can't afford any more expenses? My seat's ripped. I was sitting on it, I could just feel it going. It wasn't that sound actually, it's getting bigger. It was like that and then it's creeping across there. It's a shame because I love this seat. Awesome. And now I've got to work out something else to sit on because that's no good to me. I'm too much of an old fart to sit on the floor. Right, I think it's time for bed. I shall sign off and see you in the morning. I didn't have anything to eat tonight. I wasn't thinking ahead. Being the warmer, the summery sort of hours now, it doesn't get dark till much later, so I'm leaving later, and I'm not thinking ahead. And I ate before, not like right before I left, because I'd have kind of noticed then, but I ate fairly close to, shall we say, when I left. So when I got here, although I had the food, I just wasn't hungry. So I need to think about that more carefully in the future, and perhaps have a little snack so I can cook here, because I like cooking out in the tent. So I wasn't thinking, so I haven't had anything to eat because I wasn't hungry. So now it's I've had my coffee, sat and contemplated, been on my phone for a bit, and now it's time for bed. So good night, and I'll see you in the morning. Look at that beautiful sunrise. That's so beautiful, popping through the trees there. Listen to the birds. What a lovely thing to wake up to. It's so calm here and quiet, and there's no wind. Just got the birds, the beautiful sun coming through the trees, lighting up the whole forest. It's so nice. What a lovely morning. What a lovely way of waking up. And what a lovely way to start the day. Good morning. What a lovely morning. Coffee. You know what? I went to Costco and bought a huge box of cappuccinos. So I'm a bit of a fan of cappuccinos. And it's made me think that I'm on the verge, because I was bringing powdered milk and tea bags and coffee, and this is so much easier to pour powder into your cup and that's it. And it's a massive space saver as well. So I'm kind of contemplating just bringing sachets of cappuccinos with me and having one. I'm a tea man. I really am a tea man. But for convenience and space saving, because I've got a huge box of them at home. It's like I can't remember how many are in there, but loads. And so I do like my cappuccinos as well. But I am a tea man. So I think that might be my future thing, is to just bring the sachets, because I see why other people do it. It is a massive space saver, and it's just so much easier. So it's something I'll think about in the future, I think. So what a glorious morning, and what a lovely way of waking up to the birds singing and the blue sky and the sun coming through the trees, and it's still a bit chilly because it's not summer yet. It's been really hot the last couple of days, but it's a bit of a chilly morning though. I'm not sure what the temperature is, but it's a bit of a chilly morning. So I've got my thinnish coat on, but and surprisingly not a soul around. As I said yesterday, I'm quite near a path, which is kind of making me a bit really close to civilization. Normally much further out of the way, but not a sausage, not a single, which just surprises me. I know it's about 5:30 now, so I know it's quite early, but the dog walkers are usually quite early. So I managed to stay away from people, which is not that I don't like people, just more stay away from people that potentially can have a problem with what I'm doing. It's more what I'm trying to say. But yeah, no, what a good morning. I'm just going to have my coffee. I'm not going to have breakfast. This has been a very non-eaty foodie wind. This has been a very non-eaty foodie campy thing, because last night, as I said, without thinking, I ate fairly close to going out. When I got here, I wasn't hungry. And then yesterday, and then this morning, I've woken up, and I've mentioned it before. Some mornings I wake up and think, oh, breakfast, and some days I wake up and think, I think it's related to the earlier I wake up, the less hungry I feel for some reason. And I got up at 5 this morning, so I thought, so there's been no cooking, and not that I can call it cooking, heating stuff up, because I just didn't fancy it. When I get home, I'll probably be starving, but I do have to have a coffee in the morning. It's ingrained into me. Wake up in the morning, coffee. So I think that's about it really for today. It's going to be quite a longish video, I think, trying to piece together in my mind how much stuff I've got. So I've left my usual stuff out, setting up and showing you what I'm using and stuff like that. 'Cause I think it's going to be a long and boring enough video as it is. So I should just at this point say goodbye, and thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing. You're all amazing, and cheers, and I will see you in the next one.